Cal friends, this is the legendary Mike Silver from the Daily Cal.
That's right.
Sports Illustrated.
Daily
and now
California.
Yahoo. That's right. Mike, what do you think of the luncheon? In the past, you've been with Draft Dodger. I know you're not going Saturday, but you're here.
Well, Zennie, it's very hard to evaluate a luncheon when you haven't actually eaten yet, so I don't know exactly what to say to that. I see it looks like maybe some iced tea or...
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
Iced tea is exactly what I need right now.
But it's not spiked, though.
As long as it's not sweet tea, which I'm guessing here in the north of New York City it would not be, I would give it a thumbs up. I am not a big draft guy. I think, first of all, it bothers me for three reasons, macro reasons. First of all, I think it's unconstitutional. I think it restrains people's chances of going out and selling their services to the highest bidder. They are assigned after, the free farm
You saying this is modern slavery?
Well, that brings us to my second objection, which is I do believe there are some, slave trade overtones.
I agree. Yes, I agree.
And, certainly at the combine, up at the podium, which I've written about. Yeah. And the third thing would be the psychosexual element.
Is that like homoeroticism?
Yeah, but with a little bit, there's nothing wrong with homoeroticism in and of itself. It's the disturbing older males inspecting the young males, musculature with the gleam in their eye, talking about how they're in love with them. Again, not that there's necessarily
about their guns and
anything
all that
wrong with a September-May or May-December man-on-man relationship, but it doesn't seem as consensual to me from the perspective of the young person in this case. So other than that, I'm a big fan of the NFL draft. I think it's a great thing.
Folks are struggling to hold my camera steady.
What
do you think about Darren McFadden and the whole character situation? And why is it that, I'm going to ask you, why is it that in my experience with the draft, it seems like the character issue is always involved with a black athlete? You never have a white athlete deal with that question.
Right.
Remember Ryan Leaf and all that?
Right. Or for example, a guy like Jared Allen who had two DUIs within 3 months, DUI arrests, has just been given $31 million in guaranteed money and a team traded 3 draft picks to get him. He's a great player. Could we have, could there have been more scrutiny to predict that behavior? And I don't know the specifics of his case. Of course, there's going to be a racial prism by which a lot of this is viewed. And until though Ozzie Newsome, for example, is one of the great talent evaluators in the NFL, all the owners and many of the men making the decisions here are, of course, white, and the prism by which we all view things in society has not changed enough. That's the first thing. The second thing is, since the NFLPA and Gene Upshaw, in my opinion, sold out their membership by giving Roger Goodell full power to discipline people even without convictions and due process, and essentially gave him appeals power too. So he is now the Court of Appeals. I think.
Is Upshaw afraid to challenge the system? Is that the problem?
Well, it's not a very good position to be in publicly when you've got to defend a Pac-Man Jones or a Jared Allen or a Michael Vick.
Right.
But the NBA Players Association sucked it up with Latrell Sprewell, and he is a these are dues-paying members to your union, and you as a union have to advocate for their rights. Like, for example, the Michael Vick situation. He is suspended indefinitely.
Right.
And I think what they're going to do is wait till he gets out of jail and then tack on a year. That's preposterous. You say, what is the suspension? What is the rule? What is our policy on something like this offense, dogfighting? It is X amount of time suspended. What happens to him with
as opposed to moving the goalposts?
Right, you can't move the goalposts like that. And I would be arguing those things if were I in position to represent these players, and thankfully for them I'm not. But I believe
someone watching this will say he would be pretty good.
Well, I would at least, I would, bloody my knuckles. I don't care if people out there are saying, the NBA or the NFLPA doesn't want to clean up player behavior. Of course we do, but we also represent these players, and some of them are wrongly accused. And you can start, you can say Duke lacrosse or whatever situation you want, and say there have been rushes to judgment, and I think that all of that is wrong. So given all of that, of course teams are going to be paranoid about character, because now you could lose a guy. Pac-Man Jones was the 6th pick in the draft. If you evaluate him as an athlete, that was a steal. If you evaluate him as he just got traded for a 4th round conditional pick, so it was a disaster. If Darren McFadden, for example, were a guy with bad character issues, it just would be a ripoff. It's just a business decision. Now, in his particular case, it'll be interesting because, you know, it's not like Lawrence Phillips, where it jumps out at you. You know, he hasn't been accused of dragging
his girlfriend down some steps
by her hair,
and all
right?
That stuff. Right.
And you know, on the other hand, you know, I do think that running back, take away the character part, running back is the toughest position, in my opinion, to predict from college success to NFL success. And some guys just get what an NFL hole is, which is not much, and you're running on faith. And some guys, it just turns out we're outrunning guys slower than them, and it doesn't translate well. With all of that said, I think he's a guy who I would think would translate well because he's doing it in the SEC. If you know, we learned the hard way when Cal went down to Tennessee. If you've got speed in the SEC, you're fast. And
speaking of which, Cal notes. Mike Montgomery, what do you think?
The greatest thing to happen to the program in a long time. It just is the next act in a revolution that began when Steve Gladstone was installed as the athletic director. We now have an exceptional athletic director in Sandy Barber who's building on that. We are coming after people in every single sport. We have great coaches everywhere, and those that are not get weeded out because they just can't keep up. And you know, this is the first time in my lifetime that Cal's ever made a hire that you know 100% is a slam dunk success. We will win, and we will win now. You know, Jeff Tedford, of course, turned out that way. We didn't know it at the time. This is a great day for the Cal program, and if you look at our coaches in the three major sports, the three revenue sports, women's basketball, men's basketball, and football, I'll put our three up against anyone in the country right now. Joanne Boyle, Mike Montgomery, and Jeff Tedford. Cal is coming after you, and we're not done. We're not just trying to topple the Stanford Directors Cup juggernaut. We're not just going to the Rose Bowl. We're not just going after national titles in every sport. We want to steal your lunch money and rub your face in quicksand.
That's right.
That's right. Baby. We are the Bears.
You got a book coming out? Are you working?
No, I'm laying low. Just no books right now. Just doing my thing on Yahoo Sports. Golden Girl's an awesome book. Maybe we'll re-release it after Natalie Coughlin has another monster Olympics in Beijing. Yahoo Sports, be there. We're taking over the world, and we're having a good time.
Thanks.